The spring 2025 anime season is off to a really great start. I feel like the last season was mostly returners. Everybody knew what they were getting into. They knew the shows they were going after, but the spring season is more new properties, new titles to kind of catch people's attention. And yes, there's a lot of new titles this season, upwards of 60 as usual. Anime titles all fighting for your attention. We have Miss Nagatoro getting a job as a beer girl. This boy fails to read the room and gets wrecked by a carrot. Adam took too long, so the serpent decided to give Eve the tongue. Someone forgot to tell ACAT to begin animating to bot. Always check your mail order AI made. Even the bits that mom told you to choose wisely. These two are just friends. Totally just friends. This is what would happen in an alternate timeline where Paul Greyrat settles down with Lilia and runs her family dojo. This guy's classmate is a robot that lost her navigation system. Seriously, Lazarus? You couldn't get from your Wikipedia page research that Dr. Skinner is right there? Humanity deserves what's coming. This hero can carry the weight of a mountain, but can't bend for a number 2? Fighter D is saved by Angel's soft mounds. Totally natural response to an accidental walk-in. Throw your food at her butt. Good morning, my brother. I found Bochi in a food anime. Aw, cute ninja finds family show. Stop killing people. Please, stop killing people. Whether or not mankind is invaded rests upon the Google searching capability of one anxiety-crippled university student. And finally, never change Tamaki, no matter how much those shonen bros hate you. Jokes aside, there is a lot of shows this season, and yes, not everybody has the time to comb through it all, but I've done the duty for you. I've gone through and checked every single show of the season to give you my top 10 best shows of the season so far, in no particular order, so let's jump right into it. First things first, To Be Hero X. What do you do when you just got fired from your job and then suddenly, as you're ranting about the greatest and best hero of them all, Nice, he suddenly drops down next to you, walks past you, gives you the signature point before he falls to his death? Well, you become Nice. You become the hero. What else? Yes, To Be Hero X is a series that I absolutely have been loving every single episode of it. It's like The Boys. I get a feel of The Boys, but not quite The Boys. It's that sense of like the heroes being corporatized, where yes, everybody can become a hero in this world. If you have a fandom, if people trust in you, you can become a hero. And the more people that you have that trust you, the more powerful you get. And yes, the whole concept here is that you have a guy who witnessed the death of one of the most beloved heroes out there, Nice. He just falls to his death. They change his appearance so that he looks just like Nice so that he can become his replacement. And it works because technically he's standing there now. Now everybody's trusting him and thus he gets all that power. But as it goes along, you get to see the more darker side of this whole concept and the idea that the more trust that people give in you, the more expectation they have of you, and that becomes sort of a curse. One example is they have this guy, this fireman, who held up this pillar so that this pillar didn't fall down on this lady in this fire. And what happens is after that, everybody calls him Firm Man. And his whole idea is there, he's always standing firm. He's always standing tall. And he becomes sort of the pillar of the entire hero organization. The sad part of that whole situation is that expectation is that he always stands. So he can't ever sit. He can never take a dump. He can never lie down. So his blessing, the power, becomes the curse. And that's pretty much been the case with, so far, seemingly every single hero we've kind of introduced. There's some quirk about what they get their power from, and it thus becomes their curse. Plus, along with the fact that everybody wants to take your title. There's a top 10 list, and so everybody wants to get in that top 10. There's a lot of backstabbing they're already getting into that I'm curious to see how that gets into in the future. But so far, visually, the show looks fantastic. It's got sort of a arcane / Spider-Verse type of thing they're going on here, CGI. It also mixes in some 2D animations here and there that looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm hoping they'll kind of switch to the 2D more often in the future, but it seems like it's a lot of their focus is the CGI. I'm curious if maybe once they get away from Nice's character, we'll get into more 2D animation for the other characters. Either way, I'm loving all of it. It looks fantastic. The music's phenomenal. The action scenes are fantastic. Everything, just all cylinders. This show is turning out to be absolutely fantastic. And it's running for 2 quarters, so I'm in for the ride. I'm totally locked in. But give me more. Moving on to my next show, I have Uchuujin MuuMuu. I love this show so much. It's so freaking fun. The concept here is that you have this girl named Sakurako, and she's going to this university. This girl is super socially awkward. She finds it very difficult to speak up. She's constantly very timid and whatnot, but she's trying to push herself. Well, enter MuuMuu, An alien cat. Yes, apparently way far away, there's this alien life forms of cats that at some point they were trying to defeat each other. Like there was two factions. And so they sent assassins to take out the other side's like smartest people and all their academics. And they destroyed all their technology. So they have no technology left. So they have to find new technology. So they're traveling through space. They come to Earth where they're here to essentially observe our appliances. And so yes, this MuuMuu is now inside of her apartment, and he's dismantling all of her appliances to find out how they work. So yes, dismantles a microwave to try to figure out how the microwave works. But yeah, the problem is that if MuuMuu can't get enough information to return to their spaceships before they run out of supplies, they'll be forced to have to invade the Earth. And so Sakurako has got like the entire, all of mankind's on their shoulders, even though they're all cats. The cats already think they have control. But anyways, yes, that's kind of the setup, and that's been a lot of fun going forward. There's a couple things that really work for the show. One is, yes, I want to root on Sakurako. There's a bit of here that is about her going to her university, her being kind of picked on by some stupid preppy woman. The difficulties that she faced with sort of communicating to other people. She struggles to communicate. She's trying very hard to do that. And this is a big step for her in order to finally branch out and really kind of overcome something she's always had a problem with. The other aspect of this is the cute comedy between Sakurako and MuuMuu, and the idea that MuuMuu is doing all this crazy stuff, and she's constantly trying to stop him, but at the same time can't really stop him. She's kind of forced to have to be strung along by him constantly. And then there's a third aspect, which is sort of a, 101 guide to how these appliances work. It doesn't get too much in that stuff, which I'm really happy about. It just kind of very surface level says, yeah, this is how microwave work. And Sakurako's always there going, yeah, this is obviously how it works. And she's like sitting here flipping through her phone trying to figure out how it works because she's never, it's the appliances that we all rely on that we just take for granted, but we don't even know how it works. She's just like flipping through it and trying to figure out as she goes along. So she's learning the same time we are. It's just got charm. The show through and through oozes charm, and I love the style of it. I just absolutely adore the character designs. Sakurako is adorable. She's a big floofball. She's a floofball. And I love her embarrassment, her struggles, and all of her expressiveness in her face. Even MuuMuu's got some crazy cat expressions that he goes through. I just adore the show. It's just full of charm, and I cannot wait for more. Moving on to my next one, Summer Pockets. This show is, my gosh, it's a return to form, I feel like. This is like a return to like old Clannad days for key visual novels and whatnot. I absolutely love Summer Pockets. This series follows Takahara, who got a message from his aunt that his grandmother passed away and that she's got this big shed full of junk that they're trying to, sort through. He had some problem that he ran into, so he sort of answered the call, saying that he had nothing better to do. He decides to go to this island where the grandmother lived to live with the aunt while they kind of look through this shed. And all the while, he ends up bumping into a bunch of different individuals on the island. It kind of turns this whole thing where it's not so much about him clearing out the shed, it's more about him discovering what summer is about. Having a true summer vacation for once, getting away from your worries and just enjoying your time. And yes, that involves, like usual with key visual novels, a lot of cute girls that all have possibly some crazy trauma. They're possibly dying, or they're possibly actually foxes. We'll see. We'll see which one's dead, dying, or a fox. But no, through and through so far, this show has just been hitting. Visually, it looks fantastic. Phil is doing a very good job visually for this show. All the characters themselves look fantastic. The girls look absolutely adorable. Love them. But the big key thing here is, no pun intended, but actually intended, is getting that same like Clannad feel once again. And the idea of having that main character that just works so well with each individual girl. Like the chemistry they have, the dialogue exchanges, the constant back and forth, the bickering, the playing with each other kind of thing that I really miss from like Clannad and those series back then. Takahara kind of has that spunk to his character, that whenever he's dealing with one of these girls and they're having sort of a dispute or something like that, he teases them, they fire back, and he fires back. And they keep having this back and forth that just absolutely works. Like, for example, the first meet with Ao. When he first sees her, she's sleeping, then she goes to like, kind of fall over off the tree and hit her head, and so he catches her. And she wakes up. And her immediate response is, "Ah, oh my gosh, who are you, creep? Get off of me." And then she suddenly turns to, "Oh, please be gentle," at first, or something like that. And he's like, "Wait, does that mean that I can be aggressive later?" And she's like, "No, I don't mean that." It's things like that. There's just like this constant back and forth that is so well done. And again, it's something that I miss from like, clown on days with Tomoya. Tomoya's chemistry with like Fuka and all those characters of that series was phenomenal. Get the same thing here with the Fuka vibes with Kato as well. Umi Kato, the little sister character, she's just too freaking cute. The chemistry is just on point. And if they can keep doing this chemistry, every single time he has an encounter with one of these girls, it's like he's taking turns, visiting each one of them. If they can keep that chemistry going, I'm on board for the entire thing. And yes, throwing shaved ice at Ao's butt was hilarious. For my next one, I have on Shirley. This new adaptation, let's say, this new adaptation is absolutely on point. I could not ask for a better readaptation of this series. I'm really not sure if this will be a full adaptation because I know it's only going to go for like 2 cores. I know the last adaptation went for like 4 cores total, I believe. I don't know. We'll see. I don't remember much from the last adaptation. I did watch it a long time ago, but watching it through this time, I'm just falling in love with Anne Shirley's character. Like, she is just a spitfire. I was telling some people at some point, I'm like, I forgot how much of a snot Anne Shirley was. The idea is this elder brother and this elder sister, they need somebody to help them kind of take care of their land, and so they decide that they're going to adopt a boy. And unfortunately for them, when they get to the train station to pick up the boy, it ends up being a girl, Anne Shirley. And she's just super excited that finally somebody is going to adopt her. And so Matthew, not really sure what to do now that he's standing there in front of this girl and she's super excited, decides to take her home. And when they get home, yes, the sister is like, no, what are you doing? That's not a boy. Get her out of here. And immediately Anne Shirley's like, you got me all worked up. I was so excited to be here. I had my hopes up. You guys ruined it all. Now I have to go back to that home. And she's just upset about it. And what this kind of turns into is that Matthew kind of talks her into like, let's keep Anne Shirley. She looks like she's way too happy to be here. And just hang with her for a little bit. She's really fun to talk to. That's really what it turns into, is the two of them just love having Anne Shirley present because she's very inquisitive. She's always thinking about things. She's always talking about things. She's always looking at things. She's just checking things. And she just has this imagination that sweeps everybody into it. That's the type of person that Anne Shirley is. And she's infectious. That attitude that she has, that positive attitude she has, is just so infectious. But yes, there's the other negative side of it, is that she's also snot too. She also does some really snotty stuff. Like when somebody throws something at her, when somebody throws an insult at her, when somebody pulls at her, she fires back so quick. Like she has no filters. This girl has no filters. Yeah, the boy at school goes over there and calls her carrot head or whatever, and she immediately turns around and takes her little blackboard and just smacks it over his head. This girl just takes none of it. She does not like insults. Very quickly snaps at people. But it's been so much fun so far. Visually, it looks really fantastic. I am just absolutely in love with it, so looking forward to more of that. For my next show I have is Kowloon Generic Romance. This show is so absolutely phenomenal. If you guys have not guessed it, if you're following my channel, you know that I've been covering this on a weekly basis. I've been praising from the rooftop. This show is fantastic. It's just an interesting little like adult romance / mystery type of series that I am absolutely eating up. It's the type of show that every single episode, every single scene has something in it that if you pay attention to it and kind of pick up on the notes they're giving, the little signals they're giving, later on it kind of pays you back the idea of, I caught that. I knew that was going to come up later. It's that type of show. You feel rewarded for noticing the little details that they kind of point out to you every now and then. I don't want to get into too much details because it's a very long one to explain the story on, but it's essentially about Kudo and Kujidai who work at this real estate place. At some point, she ends up finding a photo that shows another one of her that was possibly in love with Kudo. And so she's trying to figure out who this other of herself is. And it gets super weird with this whole like floating generic Terra that apparently people are uploading their information to, their memories to possibly live on forever. The possibility that the place they're in was once destroyed and now it's rebuilt. It's all weird. And I absolutely eat it all up. I highly, highly recommend Kowloon Generic Romance. It's turning out to be probably one of the most coolest little mystery series that I've watched in a long time. For our next one, I don't even know why it's in here. Yes, I put Shiunji family's children in my list. Whatever. Don't judge me. I enjoy it. Don't judge me. I'm turning into everybody else with the stupid rent-a-girlfriend crap. I'm liking Shiunji Family. This is a series that I thought I wasn't going to like because I really don't like this writer. I'm already getting a feel. I will admit, I'm already getting a feeling that it's going to be just as spinning its wheels as Rent-a-Girlfriend. I fully acknowledge that, but so far I'm on board. So far the girls are really cute. I love Rent-A-Girlfriend characters. I love Shiunji family characters. The idea here, for those that aren't paying attention, Shiunji family is from the creator of Rent-A-Girlfriend. But with this one, the Shiunji family is a family of 7 siblings, and all living together. And at some point, the father says, hey, you're not actually siblings. Well, the 2 of you are, but all the rest of you, you're not actually blood related. I promised your mom I would tell you guys at some point that you were all adopted. Nothing's changed, though. You're all still family. But yeah, what this sort of does is very quickly, one of the sisters of the main character, Arata, who's always liked him, suddenly finds that to be her cue to, okay, time to make a move on brother. We're no longer blood related. Time to make my move. Can I finally marry you, kind of thing? And that sort of just spurs the rest of them as you kind of see other characters react to this. Some of them try to, yeah, make their move as well. I just like the girl so far. I'm not really sold too much on Arata as the main character. He's not obnoxious by a certain other character. So I am on board. Visually looks really good. And we'll see if it turns anything good. For next one, yeah, you know what's going to be in here. I love my Gundams. Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuuX. This series is actually working for me. Of course, it's being done by the creator of Evangelion. We have the character artist that did Katana Gatari, so the character designs are fantastic. The basic idea here is you have this space colony where individuals, you know, in this underground dueling session will actually fight these mecha robots against each other. And yeah, this one girl, our main character, ends up kind of getting wrapped up in that whole situation with this very prototype and very powerful machine that this military group has just brought in. So she gets this really powerful mecha that she really shouldn't have her hands on. But yeah, everything so far for the show is turning out fine. I really absolutely loved episode 2 because it was like this nice callback to like the old, you know, 1979 Gundam series, the original Gundam series, showing us sort of how the Zeon won this time around by utilizing like some very old Gundam style music, and a lot of the iconic shots from the original Gundam was in there as well. I absolutely loved it. It was just a massive nostalgia trip. But yeah, so far I'm liking it. It's giving me a little bit of hint that they might go Evangelion with it. And I'm all for that. I'm all for them giving it that Evangelion twist. Otherwise, there's no reason for the Evangelion writer to get involved. But I will admit, visually, I wish it had better animation with the combat sequences. That's my only negative in there. But everything else is just absolutely working, and I cannot wait for more. It's got an aesthetic to it, the style to it, the directing to it, just absolutely carrying it. From the next show I have is Witch Watch. Witch Watch, the show about the girl that just is the fail witch. I know I got heat for having a thumbnail that said fail witch, and everybody's like, it's not a fail show. And I'm like, it's the joke. It's the fail witch, like a fail girl. You guys don't know what a fail girl is? It's a fail. She fails at witching. But anyways, I love this show. I wouldn't say that it's like up there as like one of the funniest shows ever, but it does have a lot of charm. I think this is one of those shows where, obviously, as usual, comedy is subjective. It's one of those series where I think the comedy isn't going to always have me laughing out loud, but it's going to be carried sort of by the charm of the characters. I find Nico as this witch girl that is now moving in with her childhood friend, who is now going to be her familiar to protect her from this disaster that's supposed to unfold on her later on, to be really, really charming. This girl is just trying so hard to get this childhood friend's attention. She wants him so bad, and he just does not care. And so she's going to do anything possible to get his attention. And yes, that usually involves her doing magic, and that magic having some sort of quirk to it. It's not that she's a fail witch. She pulls off the magic, but the magic always ends up blowing up in her face somehow. There's going to be a side effect to it. The one of the funniest moments in the series so far is that there's this light spell, and whatever she casts it on will make it lighter. But there's a side effect that later on, it will get heavier. And so she ends up having to, because they were saving somebody from a burning building, cast it on themselves. Cast it on Moi, her childhood friend, and cast it on herself. And what happens is later on, they get heavier, and that turns into emotional heaviness. So they're just like totally bummed out. They're just talking about the worst things possible. It's that kind of stuff that's really great. The idea that there's magic that she's using that sort of has a side effect that they don't really foresee. Or that, yes, she used an ability and it doesn't quite turn out 100%. Like the idea that she can pull any outfit from a catalog and have her be able to wear that outfit. But the problem is that she can't see the other side of the outfit, so it doesn't produce the back side of the outfit. And so she has to kind of cover up the fact that she literally is transparent in the back. I just find Nico to be super adorable. I think her character is super cute. I just root for her. Girl, if Moi's the one you want, I'll back you. It's going to take him a while to realize it, but I'll back you, girl. Her seiyuu is absolutely phenomenal and absolutely carrying it too. But yeah, I'm excited to see more of this show. Visually looks solid, and it's just turning out to be a fun little series so far. For my next one I have is Sword of the Demon Hunter, Kijin Gentosho. This series is definitely a show that completely came out of left field for me. Well, granted, it's been delayed since I think last year, but it's finally come out, and I'm absolutely loving it so far. It's a nice, dark, gritty, demon slaying type of show that we just don't really see anymore. The concept here is that you have this guy who runs away from home with his little sister who is being abused by their father. Come to find out, the sister's actually a demon, ends up doing a lot of horrific things, only for them to find out in 170 years his sister's going to be like the king demon. And so he has to kind of train himself to get stronger in order to one day stop her. He doesn't want to kill her because it's his sister, but he's gonna stop her, question mark. Don't really know at this point. But yeah, what kind of sort of follows this whole thing is that you have him sort of traveling around through this 170 years as he's meeting different people, helping them with their issue with demons, sort of getting into almost a Mushishi type of thing where he's sort of bestowing knowledge upon the people as he's helping them with the demons themselves. Because there's some situations where the people themselves are producing the demon, and they have to figure out how to not do that in order to overcome the demon itself. He can't just get rid of it because it's going to come back. That kind of stuff. But yeah, through and through, the storytelling so far has been really, really good. I won't say the third arc was like the greatest thing ever, but like the first episode, which is like 53 minutes long, is like pretty much a movie in itself. It tells a really great and kind of screwed up story about his past. The second episode is really about him and his father kind of reestablishing what the hell happened there, why he was abusive to this sister. That stuff was really great as well. But so far, it's got its hooks in me. I think the storytelling they've done so far with this series has been really good. And I think it has a lot of room to kind of grow with Jinta as the main character. He so far is very, yes, revenge driven, but at the same time also kind of dealing with his own regrets. With the fact that, yes, technically he shouldn't have brought his sister out of there. His sister should have been left where she was at. And a lot of death was caused by him bringing her out of there. And I'm really kind of curious as to if they will ever sort of have any sort of, running into each other before that 170 mark to kind of really get into the possibility of, is his sister even redeemable? It doesn't seem to give that sense. Like, his sister is nasty. Like, she shows no remorse for what she did. And so I'm kind of curious if there's any sort of room for redemption there, or if Jinta will at some point decide that this is something that he wants to get rid of. It's got some world dilemmas in there. It's got that gray area that I really love to kind of get into, style-wise, and the dark and the period they're kind of showing there. It's been all fantastic so far. And finally, my last show, the one that I've been glazing like crazy. People know I'm loving this show way too much. That's Apocalypse Hotel. This is my other show that is just... it oozes charm. Like, I keep telling people, don't look for like some crazy action scenes. Don't look for some crazy bombastic show. Look to Apocalypse Hotel for charm. This show has it, and it has it in spades. The concept here is that mankind at some point has to, flee from the Earth. It's too polluted, whatever, so they decide to get in spaceships and get up into space. And they leave some things behind to kind of monitor that when Earth is now inhabitable again, they can return back to Earth. But yes, this one guy that owns this hotel, he pretty much equipped this entire hotel with nothing but robots. He leaves the hotel in the hands of these robots, and the robots basically take care of it on a daily basis. And you cut forward like 100 years, they're still waiting. Every day they wake up, they, do their morning checks, they check all the rooms, they replace all the sheets, they empty all the trash cans that are always empty anyways. They replace everything, and then they all stand there waiting for that first guest to come back. Just waiting for the humans to come back. All the buildings and everything around them is just retaken by vegetation, but they're just sitting there in that hotel waiting for their humans to come back. Well, eventually somebody does return to the hotel. It's not exactly human, it's alien. Aliens do pop by at some point, and they do kind of check them in and try to help them out and show them a good time at the hotel, but it always kind of turns into some quirk about trying to understand the aliens themselves, seeing a lot of the oddities about the aliens and how it sort of conflicts with what they view as a guest should be. That kind of stuff comes up. But overall, it's just a very, very charming show. Visually, looks fantastic. Side game pictures, knocking it out of the park. The show looks so beautiful. I love the character designs themselves. Yashio, the main character, I just adore her. Her reactions to everything is phenomenal. Pretty much like 99% of my enjoyment of the show is just Yashio. How she reacts to, yes, there's no shampoo hat in room 405 or something like that. And so she freaks out and does this massive analysis in AI to figure out if the guests would never come back if there wasn't a shampoo hat in there. That kind of stuff is just, it's super wild. And I love that kind of stuff. The conversation between Yashio and the first alien that comes in, trying to make a communication between the two of them, and the little quirks the alien has. Again, it's just charm. It just has an oozing charm about it that I just absolutely adore. And I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a show, again, Don't go into this expecting a cool action show. Don't go into it expecting shonen. Don't go into it expecting that you're going to laugh out loud every 2 seconds. Just go in there if you're looking for something that you can settle down and just chew into a little bit of charm. Chew into a little bit of that charm that it kind of has there. I adore it. It's definitely going to turn into probably the gem of the season, the show that nobody's going to watch, that I'm going to love. And that's okay. But that's it. That's my top 10 best anime of the season so far. Some honorable mentions, which is a ton of them. I am loving Yaiba. The show looks absolutely incredible. Another really great, fantastic kind of reimagining of an old anime, bringing that style forward and modernizing it. It looks super good. Visually, the animation, the action scenes are fantastic. I'm loving it. It's got a very old style, the humor and everything like that. That just kind of works for me. Catch Me at the Ballpark. That show is super, super cute. I love that show so much. It's kind of a show about a ballpark, and it kind of jumps around to different individuals in the ballpark. And every single one of the little stories are great. I love the security guard guy. I think that whole part right there was just super cute. The mascot character going around and getting everybody advice. Every single character it kind of jumps to just has its own story. But yes, the core of it there is, of course, the Nagatoro character. The beer garu that just absolutely oozes Miss Nagatoro from Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. It's totally her. It's totally her. I am really liking Vigilante's My Hero Academia. I did not think I was going to enjoy that show. Yes, technically most of my enjoy that show so far is I like Pop Step. I like Pop Step. But no, there's some fun about their actual chemistry that's working really well. I got a huge kick out of the fact that they basically have invaded his room. He's got his little place up there, and they basically invaded it. It's working so far. Doesn't got like its hooks in me yet, but I am kind of interested to see where it goes from here. Food for the Soul so far is working really well for me, and I assumed it would be. It's the non-Biori writer, and so far the characters have been really, really cute. I especially like the little lolly. The little fluff lolly is super cute. Now, of the big 3 ecchi shows, I have to address this. Of the big 3 ecchi shows, we have Please Put Them On, Takemine-san. We have Yandere Elf. And then we have Makina-san, the Love Robot. Of those 3, Makina-san is the best. I would say easily, without a doubt, Makina-san is easily the best. Because unfortunately, Yandere Elf is visually going down the tube so freaking fast, it's not even funny. Unfortunately, we do have the headlight version from High Dive. Takemine-san is jumping back and forth between being stickered or not from Crunchyroll. But that show, I don't know, I couldn't get over the first couple episodes where he's like completely traumatized by her essentially threatening him with SA allegations. But Makina-san it's goofy. It's got the ecchi. Makina-san looks great and she looks hot. And it's got this whole funny bit to it in the idea that, yes, she doesn't even know how it works. She's a sex robot that doesn't know how it functions. So of those 3, that one goes in my honorable mentions. And then finally, from Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, that show is actually turning out much better than I thought it would be. I just find the main character to be kind of a cool dude, and I like to see how he sort of have inspired all these individuals. I think it's only at its weakest whenever it gets too caught up in the whole harem aspect, because I just don't think it works well as a harem. But I mean, it could change my mind eventually. But so far, it's working really well. I've been really enjoying it. The visual style has been really solid as well. And yes, of course, I'm enjoying a lot of the returners. I'm still watching Apothecary Diaries, of course. I've been thoroughly enjoying that series. I covered on a weekly basis here on this channel. Heron-san coming back for the 2nd season has been a lot of fun. I love the new Gyaru. The Natoyama Gyaru has been absolutely fantastic. Go-Go Loser Ranger is sort of picking up for me. I wasn't a big fan of the first season, especially how it sort of later ended, but it's been kind of picking up for me in the 2nd season. Fire Force Season 3, still picking up on that as well. It's been pretty solid this season. And yes, I'm still watching I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and maxed out my level, Season 2. The season so far hasn't really done too much to kind of grab me, but I'm still going to enjoy it. It's a nice take on Aoyuki's usual voicing to actually voice a character that just wants to have fun. They did bring the angel back, though. That was a funny little bit there, or the goddess. But anyhow, that's it. That's my top best anime of the season so far. Hope you guys enjoyed this list. Hopefully you found something in here that you guys will find that you enjoy. That's usually the big key reason why I do these lists, so that you guys don't have to go through every single show. You can find those little nuggets in there that you might possibly overlook. You watch it, turns out to be something you really enjoy. That's usually my goal here, and I hope you guys find something. If you did, make sure to leave me a like down below, leave me a comment, let me know what the show is that you guys check out that ends up being something you enjoy. Always love to hear you guys' feedback. If you haven't already, we have our Discord down in the description down below. You can join our community of people there to discuss all these shows and more. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care.